Hi guys, it's me, ColorMeCassie, and today we're going to be doing a first impressions and a wear test of the Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Foundation. So guys, before we get going, I just want to say if you enjoy these types of videos, make sure to smash that like button, or YouTube won't show my videos to anyone, because that's how the algorithm works apparently. It's really weird. And also make sure you tickle that notification bell if you want to see more videos from me, because subscriptions don't matter anymore. A couple more things I want to let you know before we jump into this video. This is the Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Foundation. It retails for around $29, and it's new, released by Selena Gomez. So, at least I think it's released by Selena Gomez. If it's not, I'll definitely edit that out. Without further ado, let's jump right into the first impressions. So guys, today I have with me the Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Foundation. I actually have been so out of the makeup news lately. The only reason I heard anything about this is because I saw it on a commercial. So if you have new products that you want me to look into, please let me know in the comments down below, and I would love to look into that for you so that I can make the purchasing mistakes instead of you guys. That would be great. I have this foundation in the color 130N. I'm not sure if this is going to be the correct color for me because, you know, the pandemic is going on and nobody can try on swatches or anything. So we're just basically all guessing what foundation shades to use. So this should be a fun little adventure. Let's see how it goes. I can't open packaging, guys, and this has not changed. It's greasy. Why is it greasy? The inside of the box is greasy and the outside of this is greasy, and I'm not sure why or what it is. That's really weird. That's kind of grody. Okay, well, in the spirit of makeup, I'm gonna try it anyways. Okay, so I wiped the outside off. I'm not sure if the grease came from inside the bottle or like if it was, I don't know, maybe returned or something. Why is it greasy? Okay, let's spend less time on that because it could very well just be a little bit of leakage from inside here. This whole thing is kind of like a little concealer wand. This is not the most sanitary way to do foundations because you're sticking the thing that you stuck all over your face back into the bottle. I do really love the packaging of this though. Like, it's very clean and simple. I'm way more into pump foundations than any of these other kinds of foundations that have like wands, just because the wand gets dirty and yucky and gross, and a pump is always going to work well for you and keeps the insides of the foundation clean and bacteria free. But let's go ahead and prime my face with just kind of a normal primer to see how this works. I'm just using a little bit of an LA Girl primer just because I don't want to give it too much of an advantage. I want to see how it really wears without too much help from a super good primer. This one's not bad, but it's just a little bit of a silicone primer to fill some of the pores. So my face is all good and primed. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply the Rare Beauty Foundation. I'm just going to be using today my Real Techniques. I think this is the enhanced face brush. It just says 200 on it. It looks like my enhanced face brush that I've had for a while, but that's what I'm going to be using to apply today. I'm going to just put a little bit of this on my hand so that I can pick it up. This is really thin. I was expecting it to be like a little bit thicker of a foundation, but it is really kind of runny and liquidy. Usually you get a little bit more of a creamy texture with foundations. Yeah, definitely too light for me. Well, maybe it's not so bad on my cheeks, just towards the center of my face it's a little light. So guys, you can kind of tell now this side of my face has the foundation, this side does not. It's maybe slightly light for me, but not really too bad as far as color goes, just a little bit too light. I am seeing like a little bit of streakiness from the brush, so I'm going to try doing this side with more of a beauty blender type thing and see if that works a little bit better. Okay, so I just had to run and get my beauty blender really quick. It's not actually a beauty blender, it's a Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. I actually like these better than the beauty blenders, so yeah. I'll have a link down to these down below. Down to these down below? I'll have a link to these down below. Yes. That's it. Let's put a little bit more splooshy on my hand. Just give it a little paint. It's so liquidy. I can't get over how liquidy this is. That's probably why I'm getting a little bit of the streaking with the brush, because it like shears out a bit too much. And maybe I wouldn't see that as much if I had a better match for my skin color. My eyes are so dark right now, my under eyes. I haven't been sleeping very well the past couple nights. This is really covering up my dark circles really well though. So far the texture of that is a lot nicer. So this, because of the consistency of this foundation, you might want to apply it with a sponge instead of the brush, because I think I get a little bit more transparency with the brush, whereas with the Beauty Blender it builds up a little nicer and looks a little bit more opaque, which, you know, is always good if you're using foundation for foundation reasons, because foundation is meant to cover stuff up instead of not. So a little bit of this does not go a long way, guys. You really kind of need to put a lot. And maybe it would be helpful if I put it on my face and then spread it around. Yeah, maybe that's a better idea than what I'm doing currently. Well, we'll just see. Yeah, I'm liking the coverage with the Beauty Blender a lot more, and the texture of it looks way nicer. So just to give you guys a little bit more of a close-up look at this, this is the side where we use the Real Techniques Beauty Complexion Sponge. I think it really looks very natural, nice and smooth. I like it. This is the side where we use the brush. It's definitely a little bit patchier. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but I definitely see some redness around my nose here, and a little bit of the darkness around my eyes is still visible. Overall, I think both sides really look good. I don't know if you'd be able to tell, like walking down the street past me, if there were streaks in my foundation, but I can tell, so I care a little bit. So I'll probably plan on leaving the side with the brushing as is, just so that you can kind of see the difference in the wear over the course of the day, because I think maybe we will get to see a difference. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my makeup. I'll be right back to give you a final peek before I head about my day. I'll give you a couple updates throughout the day if I can, and then tonight come back and let you know how it looks at the end of everything, and how I think this foundation wears, if I think you should buy it. So here we go. So guys, my makeup is all done and I'm ready to go about my day. It's definitely been like a half an hour or something like that since I started doing my makeup, but the time right now is 12:31. So I'm about to head out for the day. This is what my makeup looks like. I'll just go in and do a super close-up really quick. So that's what my makeup looks right now at 12:30. I'll give you guys some updates throughout the day, and I'll come back at the end of the night and let you know what I think and how it turned out. So I'll see you guys again soon. Hey guys, so it's been 4 hours since I did my foundation. Brian, what do you think? Is there anything weird about my foundation right now? I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I've been wearing sunglasses, so it is a little rubbed off right here.
Also like the nose pad area where it's in your nose.
Maybe got a little bit kind of rubbing off around my nose too. But I think it's wearing pretty well. I don't see a lot of redness coming through really. It's not settling in my lines so far. Hey guys, Future Cassie here. I just want to let you know, after watching back this video, I'm really thinking that I don't look shiny or anything at all in here, and I thought that was super impressive. Just wanted to let you guys know that. Okay, back to the video. Yeah, I like it. So far, so good. It is 4:25 and it's been just under 4 hours. Say hi, Brian.
Hi.
Hi guys, so it's currently 7:34 and I just wanted to give you a little chance to peek with the good camera at what my makeup looks like. I think it still looks really, really good, which super surprises me. That's a little weird thing to say, which surprises me a lot. You know, I am seeing when I look a little bit closer, a little bit of it wore off down here. Brian and I went on a hike, so that's how I tested this makeup out. And yeah, I drank water out of a water bottle and spilled it all over my chin. So I was kind of expecting to have a little wear off right here. If it hadn't had worn off, that would have been incredible. I do have a little bit of like patchiness around my nose. I did touch my nose. I don't avoid touching my face really while I'm doing stuff during the day, so it's kind of normal for it to get worn off, especially around my nose a little bit. I also wore some sunglasses, and I do have just a little bit of sunglass marks, but it's really not that bad comparatively to some other foundations. It still looks really good around my forehead. It hasn't really sunk into the lines very much, but I think the worst thing is kind of how it's separated around my nose. This is the side that we did with the Real Techniques complexion sponge. I actually like this side a lot better. This is the side of my nose that I like scratched a little bit, so you can definitely tell it's worn off there and worn off a little bit where I spilled water down here. But the texture of the rest of the makeup on this side is really nice. And then you look at this side, and I think this side still looks really good. I can definitely see like a little bit up in here that has kind of a funky texture. But overall, I think for 7 hours so far, it looks pretty good. At this point in the day, if I still had to go out and do something tonight, I'd probably touch up just a little bit. But I don't think I'd do anything like around the perimeter of my face. I just really need a little bit kind of underneath my eyes and around my nose. If I wore a really good concealer with this, like the Tarte Shape Tape or something, I don't think I'd need to touch up around my eyes because I would have no foundation under my eyes, just concealer. But I really think mostly the only spot I would need to touch up at this point would be around my nose and maybe this little spot that I spilled some water on. But overall, I'm pretty impressed. It doesn't really feel cakey or anything like that. It feels pretty light on my face. And when we were hiking, I didn't feel like I was, sweating it off or anything like that. And I think you can definitely tell. It stayed on. You can still see my contour and my blush pretty well. Yeah, I'm liking how it looks so far. I will touch in one more time before I go to bed tonight, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. So, see you soon. Hi guys, it's now 10:37. I'm really tired, but it's been 10 hours since I put on this foundation. It looks just a little bit worse than when I last checked, and I think that's mostly because I was watching a TV show and I had my hands all over my face. I was like leaning into my hands while I was watching the TV show. So it does look slightly worse. It's mostly around my nose area, and that's kind of where I get some more oil. I see some oily spots right up by my T-zone and around my nose. I think the rest of it pretty much looks exactly like it did before. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try powdering on top of this and see how that looks, see if this foundation can be powdered and still look good, or does it get kind of clumpy or patchy or anything like that. As far as how it looks now, I'm not very disappointed in the wear over the course of the day. I usually have some sort of something go on in my T-zone by the end of the day. I just have more oily skin, so that's kind of how oily skin works. But overall, the coverage is still really good. I do have a lot of hormonal redness around my nose and my chin, and really my skin still looks fairly even, which is really good. So I think that worked pretty well. There's a lot less shininess around my T-zone. It definitely didn't take away any of the opaqueness of the foundation. It still looks really opaque, but I'm going to come in a little bit closer so you can kind of see how the texture of it looks where it's powdered. So I don't know if you can tell the texture, but like right in here, it's separating just a tiny bit, and then around my nose, you can see it kind of separating as well. But you really have to get super close in order to see those issues. So I still think this is a really good foundation. It definitely felt really light on my skin throughout the day. So I think in a situation where I might not care when I get to the 7 to 10 hour mark, if it needs to get me kind of through that 8-hour period of time before it needs a touch up, I think this foundation is going to do really well. In the case where you're looking at a wedding or something like that, I don't know that I would recommend this, just because it did get a little bit oily and it did kind of wipe off in some places around my nose and my chin. But it is a very comfortable foundation. It didn't really feel as much like I was wearing a thick, heavy foundation as I was hiking and taking my dog for a walk. Getting just a little bit on the sweatier side, that really didn't affect this foundation very much at all, and my skin didn't feel clogged up at all by it. As an everyday foundation, I really like it, and I'm going to be trying it a little bit more in the future, but maybe for those special occasions, I'll go with something that's a little bit more long wearing. So guys, that was my first impression and wear test of the Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Foundation. So that's pretty much it. If you guys like this video, make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm so that other people see it as well. And if you want to make sure that YouTube lets you know when I have a new video, make sure you tickle that notification bell, because subscriptions don't really matter anymore. YouTube won't tell you about me unless you hit the notification bell, so make sure you do that. That's pretty much it. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!